Hello, Chris.
What up? We're still not recording yet.
It's been a minute.
This
I can't say hi to you without the recording.
No, I don't really want to talk to you.
This is what you get when you tune in live.
For the record, I'm not stuck in traffic anymore.
Oh, yeah, let me fix that.
That semi was going like 47 miles an hour. I was like, hurry up. And the car in front of us was like on its ass. I thought it was being towed initially.
The weird thing is neither of those cars were there. I just didn't want to freak Tony out while we were driving, but he imagined all of it.
It was not because of my Space Panda Delta gummies, though. Because it's still factory sealed. See? The factory seal is still on. The new Nova Lime Space Panda Delta gummies.
Nova Lime, huh?
Yeah. Delta 9 is the most psychoactive of the Delta 8 or 9, and that's what that is right there. The best part I love about this is how on the side it says, for new users, take half a gummy. And for advanced users, take one gummy.
That's if you're a coward. No, follow the instructions.
Yes.
Kids.
For completely insane people, just do whatever the
Hashtag Delta 9. Yeah, so I like me some Space Panda Delta 9 gummies. And they sent us this bottle.
Can't wait to try them after.
I bet it does. I personally am a big fan of the Blue Moon, which are blue raspberry.
Oh, okay.
They also have in spooky season. They have Blood Moon, which is like a blood orange flavored. So good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, Delta 10 though, which is what Molly just texted you. What's the point? Like, just give me weed, guys.
Just go for it.
Yeah. So, I actually just found something out about these guys. So they are actually working to produce Delta 8, but they were first licensed for Delta 9.
Yeah. I thought it was Delta 8.
Nope, it's Delta 9.
Okay.
Delta 8 coming soon.
Fancy.
What?
Fancy.
Fancy. Yes.
You guys ready for some intro music?
I am ready.
Absolutely.
Are you ready?
Begin
if
the
you're
countdown.
ready for some intro music, give me a
4,
W in chat.
3,
I'm kidding.
2,
1.
0, -1.
Come on, I'm doing the strum.
Mom, you can just text me the W. You don't have to figure out chat. It's fine.
I wonder if there's a delay between the sound and the drums, so it looks like I'm not.
No, it's all in sync. You just look ridiculous. No, clap on the 1 and the 3. Clap on the 1 and the 3.
What is this? It's my double gun dance.
Black white people in church.
It's white people in church.
Yeah, clap on the 1 and 3. I'm playing the instruments. I can clap whenever I
can't
want.
even clap off on purpose. I instinctively just
Clap
get
off.
back and
Way out of tune, and that's why this is a movie podcast and
How am I
not
out
a
of
music
tune?
podcast.
How am I out of tune? I'm not playing an instrument, nor am I singing. You said I'm out of tune. Did you mean
out of
beat?
I'm gonna say
okay.
And
gotcha.
again, I reiterate, this
is a movie
not
podcast,
a music podcast.
And streaming and
gaming. Notice that we leave music off.
Yes,
But
this is
I
not
would
a
like to
music
say,
podcast.
that tomorrow at midnight, 1989 Taylor's version comes out, and I'm very excited
Jesus
about
Christ.
that. So.
Congratulations on having a vagina. I'm kidding. I love Taylor Swift. We were just listening to Travis and Jason Kelsey's New Heights season 2.
I do love Travis Kelce too now, though. I don't like football, but Travis Kelce.
Why do you not like football? Is this an anti-violence thing?
No, I love violence. No, I don't really. I just don't like sports.
Time out.
don't like the
Back up.
booze,
Huh?
What was that?
Huh?
You what?
Huh?
You love what?
You movies? Movies.
Violins?
I love movies, and that's why we're here to talk about them today. Because this is Popcorn
Did
Tribunal.
you say you love violins?
Coming to you live from dusky.
I really want an answer.
Midwestern
Did you say that
Plains.
you love violins?
I love violins because I'm a bard in Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh.
A game that you should play.
Back to the Baldur's Gate. That's
the
fucking
king
problem.
of the bards.
It's better than being the queen of the bards and loving Taylor Swift.
Man, that's loud.
What is
Set that
loud?
down.
I just
It
gently
is
set my phone
extremely
down.
loud. No, it was extremely loud.
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
No, you're okay.
I apologize.
It happens.
I apologize to those of you listening in headphones for that bump.
For that bonk.
So yeah, guess what? Speaking of partners and stuff, Lux Bidet is sending me a new bidet.
A stronger bidet.
It's not a stronger bidet. I don't need like the executive model, but this bidet has an option, and they send you a product. It's a testing product, so testing.
Okay.
But it's like an aloe vera soothing liquid, and so like one every 3 times you use it, it shoots that as a part of the water, and it soothes your bumhole.
It softens your bumhole.
Yes.
Nice.
I'm kind of intrigued by that thought.
You'll have a silky asshole. Thank God you told all your kids to watch tonight.
Even more so than usual.
Clearly, my kids already hear that kind of stuff from me. The worst part is I had to text Tristan because he was sound asleep when I left. So he has an idea, but he has no idea. He's gonna wake up and be like, "Dad!" But I made a bottle for him, and he'll
A
get out of
bottle?
his crib. Kidding. He's almost an adult. He's bigger than I am. So, so tonight, if our editor can get this thing edited in time.
Hey, all the shows are up, my friend.
This is going to be our spooky season episode.
Our Halloween
And because there's not a ton of
extravaganza.
movie content out right now, and we're not promoting a ton of stuff specifically because of the strike,
Yes.
right? The writers are writing great stuff, but the Actors Guild is still striking, still at the table.
Yeah.
We gave each other our 3 all-time favorite scary movies.
Which is
And
hard to narrow down for me, honestly.
we forced each other to watch them,
Yes.
and we're going to talk through them.
Well, see, you say forced. I'd already seen 2 of your 3, but was happy to watch them again.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I picked wonderful movies.
I mean, it doesn't matter if they were wonderful movies. They're your favorite movies.
Might hear an echo for a moment.
Echo.
Echo.
No, we're good.
Echo.
Echo.
Double checking the stream. It wasn't showing
I'm
up
still
on my
hearing
end.
an
Now we're
echo.
good.
Echo.
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 Hello.
Echo.
Okay. So my 3 choices, I'm actually going to need a refresher. Poltergeist, The Ninth Gate,
Yes.
and Candyman,
Yes.
the original,
Yes.
correct?
From the year I was born, Tony.
I know. That's
You were born to dead?
I was
was
indeed.
hatched.
I wasn't just plucked
You were
out of
genetically
views.
produced in a laboratory,
My parents found me in the sewer in New York
Yes.
and just pulled me out.
That's fancy.
And then your choices were As Above, So Below,
Mm-hmm.
It, Chapter 2.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the third one.
Annihilation.
Annihilation. I know why I remember it, because it was a piece of shit. Okay,
Extremely good movie.
so because we'll start with Annihilation. all
Okay.
right? I would like for you to talk about this movie and tell us what you like about it, what impact it had on your life, and then I'll shit on it.
Impact.
Spelled
I don't-
A-N-A-L-ation? What? Sorry.
It's spelled the way Annihilation is spelled.
It's not Anal Nation. That's a different movie.
different movie that I'm a big
Different
fan
platform. Different platform.
of. I mean,
Yes.
I
And demonetized on many other platforms. Sorry, Mom.
I love cosmic horror. I think cosmic horror
But
is
there's
awesome.
nothing horrifying about it.
Yes, it's the body horror of it,
No.
the mystery of what's going on.
The humans that turn into flowers, that's not body horror.
Okay, what about spoiler alert for all these movies, by the way, obviously, but most of them are pretty
Annihilation's
old.
been out for like 7 years.
And
I think we're good.
Candyman has been out for 31 years.
Yeah, and I don't care about spoilers.
Yeah, but just in case. Well, yeah, no, the idea of the environment taking them over like that, and not even just like they turn into flowers. There's more to it than that. There's the lead up to it where there's like a psychosis happening.
Well, I mean, the whole thing is based around a prism.
Mhm.
The whole thing is based around a prism,
Mhm.
which in itself is kind of an interesting concept.
Yeah.
But what they do is instead of taking the light, what they do is they take the fact that the prism bends light and how everything about everything in the world is being bent as well. That's weird.
Yeah, and it's weird and unsettling.
But it's not horror. It's like
it's a different kind of horror.
It's why are Oompa Loompas short and orange weird?
Well, Oompa Loompas are also terrifying, so you're just proving my point.
I think that Willy Wonka was a scarier movie than Annihilation.
I'd actually probably agree with
Based
that.
on the boat going through the tunnel with the millipede crawling across the person's face.
Yeah,
God, I love that scene.
Willy Wonka is also terrifying. No, I think that's why I said when I told you that movie,
my butt already hurts.
Good Lord,
How does it hurt on that stool?
When
you need a
I
stool
was
softener?
No, my stool softener is fine.
You need a donut to sit on?
No, I'm good.
When I told you that movie, when I gave you that one, remember I said I will be curious if you will classify it as a horror movie.
Oh no, it's not a horror movie.
So I mean,
It's
there's
science
disagreement.
fiction,
There's disagreement
100%.
on it. Some people just call it a straight up sci-fi movie. I agree with the classification of it being a cosmic horror because there is an element of horror.
What is
to
that
it.
word?
Okay, go fuck yourself.
What is the
Okay,
word?
listen.
What did you
I'm
say?
gonna be
Cosmic-
saying the word horror a lot tonight.
Cosmic-
But
I
it's not spelled with an A.
There's a lot of words that aren't spelled with an A that people from the same part of the country I was born in.
Say Bobby.
Bobby, what?
Now say whore.
Say hooer.
Whoer.
Cosmic whore.
Cosmic hooer.
I think it definitely still falls into the category of cosmic horror. Just under the principle of it's something unknown from beyond our planet, and it's obviously attacking and kind of warping people, and it's causing
But
there's
here's the
mutations in
interesting
it.
part. Spoiler alert. In the end, it's not attacking, it's literally imitating.
Yeah, but it's still assimilating.
It's reflecting.
It's still assimilating and kind of taking over the areas, and it's and expanding. And then there's also the like mutated like creatures in there that are. Have you forgot? If you're telling
I
me,
didn't forget the bear was
if you're
amazing.
telling me the talking
Dude, the
bear-
bear growling and it was her voice. That was the best
so
part of the
scary.
fucking movie,
It's so
but it
fucking
wasn't scary.
It's just a different kind of horror. And see, I'm saying it differently now.
Here's the thing: the minute
Horror.
that I don't remember which one of the characters it was, but the minute she left and left them all tied up and went out,
Yes.
I was like, that's the bear making that noise.
Yeah.
Right? And then the bear comes up the stairs, and sure enough, it's the bear making that noise.
Yeah.
It's predictable.
It's just it's very there's also people it's kind of on a similar track to a lot of what like Lovecraft stuff is, where some people just think Lovecraft's books are real weird, but they're not scary. But then there's other people who he has the whole genre that's spun off from
you
of
want to
cosmic
read
horror.
a scary book? There's a book called Firefly by Piers Anthony. I challenge you to read
I've
that.
heard of that book before, but haven't read. If you want to read a scary book,
Nope.
on Popcorn Tribunal, a book podcast, House of
I
Leaves.
love books.
It's called House of Leaves, but you have to get a print copy of it. You can't do an ebook because
Okay.
it has like puzzles and stuff in it that you have to solve while you're reading.
Okay, I would not do that.
Oh, okay. Well,
So I focus. I can't do like 8 different things.
but anyways, I see your point in saying that it's not a horror movie because there's a lot of people who argue that. I do think it falls very firmly into cosmic horror, and for me, it's the exact kind of thing that I find
Cosmic what?
horror.
Ooh,
It's the exact kind of thing that I find unsettling. Where I'm a much bigger fan in scary movies, in horror movies, of things that are kind of like unsettling and unexplainable instead of straight out like it's a demon or there's a ghost coming for you. You know what I mean? And so that movie kind of hits that exactly.
so
me.
for you, the fear is in not knowing over. Oh shit!
Yeah, which is the
Right.
exact point of cosmic horror. That's the whole thing of it. It's
Is it?
yeah, because it's always rooted in it's something from beyond our world and we don't
So
understand
if I
it.
Googled cosmic horror
Yeah.
right now, it would say subtle horror.
Yeah, no, the whole point of it is supposed to, again, it's all like it stems out of like Lovecraft's like books. It's all stuff that we don't understand.
Let me ask a question.
Yeah.
Outside of Star Wars, is Natalie Portman really a good actress?
Yeah. I like her in V for Vendetta.
Is she okay?
Black Swan.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other stuff I've seen her in.
I think she's gotten worse as she's aged.
Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, when she was much younger, V for Vendetta, the first movie, the Professional.
Oh, Leon the Professional.
Yeah, I thought she was great in those.
I just watched that recently.
And then she did a movie with Ashley Judd, something about tornadoes and like living with your sister. And I've always said that I think that they would play excellent sisters.
Yeah.
And they did end up playing sisters in a movie, and that was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And then she did that piece of shit with Ashton Kutcher.
Oh, yeah.
The same year that Ashton's future wife did the same movie with Justin Timberlake.
I did. I love Molly calling me out where I was like, I can't think of another movie she's been in. Thor. I do actually. I find her.
I don't even think she was that good in that.
I don't think, in at least in the first two Thor movies, no one was doing a good job. I did like her in Love and Thunder a lot. I thought she was great in Love and Thunder. That was a very different kind of performance in Love and Thunder, though, than the first two Thors.
Sure, because she was dying.
Yeah, there's a lot more depth going on there. And I thought she did great with that. I've never seen her in a movie and thought like, eh. But I do think also there's a lot of actors who I enjoy their earlier performances more than like later performances. It almost feels like people get kind of complacent.
So do I get to shit on Annihilation now?
You can if you want to.
Okay. So the things that I hate about movies
oh God,
were all included in this movie.
Oh no.
And let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Because it's a movie podcast and that's what we do.
Yeah.
First and foremost.
Woo!
Somebody clip that. I'd love to see that in slow motion.
I'll make it happen.
Okay, so first and foremost, there was a movie, and I talked about this earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
There was a movie way back in the maybe late 80s, early 90s called What Dreams May Come.
Yes.
With Robin Williams. And the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, wow, this movie's really beautiful because he was like living inside of an acrylic painting. And I don't even really remember the theme behind it. But
sad as hell.
It was very sad, but everything was extremely colorful and bright and vivid.
Sure.
And if you put 5 gray filters and turn the opacity on that movie down to like 30%, that is Annihilation. It's dark, it's gloomy, and then all of a sudden they put a rainbow hue over the top of it because it's a prism world.
Which I loved.
The only thing I liked about that movie was the bear, which was a pretty cool concept.
It's a very
and the flower people.
Yeah. Which now, okay, just to clarify, you didn't find that creepy when they like come up on them and they see like a whole field of like flower people. You didn't find that like unsettling or anything?
Have you ever seen The Happening with Mark Wahlberg?
Oh yeah, I've seen The Happening. Don't you dare compare this to that.
When he's terrible at his acting and he's like, "Wow, what's happening? I don't know what's happening right now."
Don't you fucking do that.
That's what that reminded me of when they came upon the field of flower people. No, what's scary about that?
It's the especially the first time I saw it, the what the fuck happened? How did that
There's a
happen to them?
movie about a dystopian future where people create extra organs within themselves for the purpose of people removing them in public displays.
Ugh.
That is body horror.
Yeah.
This is not body horror.
I don't know that I would call the flower people stuff so much body horror. That's a lot more
There's
like
a
mutated
movie
shit.
where an alien with a piercing tail and a little head that pops out of its mouth to explode other people's heads is stuck on a spaceship with humans. That is cosmic horror.
So first, actually, it's not cosmic horror. That's just straight up horror. Cosmic horror.
It's in space.
Cosmic horror doesn't just mean horror in space.
Christopher, can you pull a definition of cosmic horror, please?
Maybe Jason X.
Do you know what I was gonna say?
Jason Goes to Space.
Fuck
you for that reference.
I was originally gonna give you Aliens as my third instead of Annihilation, and then I was like, you know what? I want to be.
That is a horror movie, but it's set in space.
I was like, I want to put out one of the more unique ones. Like, speaking of, I did almost bring with me today my mom.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Did you really have this list, or did you Google a list?
Yeah, I really had it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because this was not a scary. This was not a scary.
Do you know what?
movie.
You can literally
Oh, there was one other cool thing. The alligator with like 7 mouths. Inside. Yeah.
Next time you see Molly, ask her if I have not said 1,000,000 times that how much I fucking love Annihilation.
I don't
think
need
it's one
to
of the
ask her,
scariest
'cause
movies.
She's gonna text you here
That's
in
probably
30
true.
seconds.
But I've said multiple times. I think it's one of the most unnerving movies to me, and I love it.
I see. I didn't feel a moment of uncomfortability other than terrible acting.
Okay,
and Tessa Thompson was underutilized.
That's true, and I think all of the characters except for Natalie Portman were a little underused because they all had some horrible backstory that led them to this place.
Oscar Isaac was fantastic.
Oh, he's so good in that.
Fantastic.
He's good in everything.
Yeah.
Now I almost brought with me today. My wonderful parents sent me a full size replica of the Aliens pulse rifle that Nerf made.
Nice.
And I was gonna bring it with me because it was our scary episode, but I was like, I don't have room. We got kind of, I don't want to knock shit over and be firing Nerf darts off. Chris gets enough of that with the kids.
Right.
I just bought 1,000 Nerf darts. Glow in the dark for my son's birthday.
Okay, so Annihilation for me, not scary.
Okay.
Not
what would you rate it out of 5?
As a movie in general, or as a scary movie?
Just both. Regular movie first.
Out of 5?
Yeah.
Honestly, what did Molly say?
She hasn't. I was looking to see if she had responded. She hasn't yet.
Okay, Molly. How often does he say that Annihilation is a great movie?
I talk about it all the time.
Okay, 2.5.
2.5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, to be honest with you, I don't know if I would ever watch it again.
You might like the book. The book is pretty different, but is
the
very
book
good.
feels different, and plus I get to make it up in my mind.
Sure.
I'm not forced to watch someone else's idea of what it's supposed to look like. So that would probably make a big difference. That's why I watch most movies twice before I really give an opinion about them. And this is the second time I've seen it.
Just out of curiosity, are you able to picture things in your mind when you're thinking about them, or are you one of those people who
100%.
can't?
No, I'm 100%.
It's been going around Twitter a lot,
and my sister-in-law cannot, and I didn't know this till like 2 months ago. I've known her for 20 years.
I didn't know it was a thing, and then I found out that Molly cannot, and she was like, "You can."
See, he said DJ Catfish is solid 3, but the ending fucked him up. The ending, I don't know necessarily that it was. What part about the ending fucked you up, DJ? I'd be interested to know that. Because for me, there was nothing really that. It just kind of ended. And it was like, okay.
You do Call of Duty with DJ Catfish, right?
I do play Call of Duty with DJ. I also play Farlight 84, which is a recent.
I downloaded that.
Enjoyable adaptation to my schedule.
I did download that.
And I think we're gonna play a little more Fortnite. Try and create some content around Fortnite.
Okay.
So we've built a new gaming community called Sinister with a Y, SYNISTER.
Slap that on some merch, baby.
Yeah, baby. We're working on it.
See, 2 weeks ago, my son said that Fortnite was cringe, and then a couple days ago, he's like, "Dad, you want to play Fortnite?" I'm like, I thought.
Did you remind him that he said it was cringe?
I think he was in front of friends when he asked me. That's the difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's
all right.
Totally different track here, going from one of my movies you hated,
to
one of your movies that unexpectedly became one of my new favorite horror movies.
Okay, well, hang on. Let's see what DJ said.
Ernest Goes to Hell.
Little confusing at the end. To be fair, I don't know there was even a book. Okay, so you say there is a book.
I've never read it, but I've heard it's very good and sort of like similar enough to the movie, but pretty different.
And then say hello to Surprisingly Effective. Hello, Surprisingly Effective.
Hello, dear.
By the way, hello, Popcorn Tribunal merch.
We do have that merch.
If you go to popcorntribunal.com and click on the shop button at the top, newly equipped with a secure certificate. So our SSL is working as well. Thanks, GoDaddy. A ton of stuff up there. Some really, really cool designs.
Yeah.
You can see in the bottom left-hand corner one of our new logos created by Hydro74. A little later, maybe next episode, you'll see the actual new Popcorn Tribunal logo, which is pretty cool. It's a little difficult to see with the dark background, but it's on some of the merchandise up there too, so pretty cool. I like it. I think it looks cool.
It's good. The hat's fantastic. I didn't wear it today, but
okay. One of my horror movies.
Yeah, so the only movie on your list that I hadn't seen,
one of your kind of favorite,
was The Ninth Gate.
Okay. Once again, mine was The Ninth Gate, Poltergeist, the original Poltergeist, and Candyman.
Okay. Yes. And I had seen Candyman and Poltergeist, had never seen Ninth Gate. When I Googled it, I was like, okay, I was like, this is gonna be like, because it's from like 1999, I think, or 97.
It's a little earlier, yeah.
Maybe 97. And I was like, I watched a trailer.
I think it's actually a remake too.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I watched a trailer, which is always a mistake for movies from the 90s and early 2000s.
Did you actually watch the movie or just
Yeah.
the trailer?
No, I watched the movie.
Okay, good.
How I'm gonna be like, it's one of my new favorite horror movies, and I didn't watch the movie. I watched the trailer, wasn't impressed, and I was like, this is gonna.
Well, it was a trailer from the 90s.
Exactly.
They were terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, remember RoboCop? Everyone was like, this movie is going to be terrible. It's a fantastic.
I don't,
movie.
because I think that was before I was conscious as a living creature, so
Wow.
or maybe even conceived.
Wow.
When did RoboCop come out?
I don't know.
I think it was the 80s. The movie, whole nother story. Loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was fantastic. It gave me very much kind of like Dan Brown kind of vibes, you know what I mean? Like Da Vinci Code kind of shit, which I love those movies too. I'm a huge fan of religious horror. So like, you know, anything demons, satanic kind of shit. I always think those movies are fantastic. And this one nailed it. It was really good. It was really fun. I mean, it's not like, you know, a mind-blowing movie or anything, but it's really fucking fun.
It's not hyper intelligent.
No.
It's got its moments where you're just, oh shit, or ooh, ee. And to me, that's what makes a good movie, right?
Yeah.
A good horror movie is you don't have to overthink it. It still scares you. And at the end, you're kind of going, I could do that again.
I'll watch that again.
To me, though, what really makes a good scary movie, and I've stated this, I think, on the podcast before, is remember, what's the word? Memorable moments.
Yes.
That you can use when you watch the movie with someone else to make it even scarier.
Gotcha. Okay.
And that's one thing that all three of the movies for me have.
Sure.
Is those memorable moments where you know that if I'm watching this with someone, I can scare the shit out of you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely, I didn't think anything in Ninth Gate was super standout scary. I think older movies I have trouble finding standout scary anymore. But man, it was just a fun movie. I really liked it. I enjoyed it. I can appreciate the horror elements of it, like the you know, the religious horror, the hunting down this kind of satanic ritual, the floating woman.
Yeah. So for me, that's just, it's one of those movies, and I don't necessarily like scary movies.
Sure.
But this is a movie that I can watch to have a light on or any of that stuff. But at the same time, it's kind of, I'm obsessed with cults. I'm obsessed with, you know, you called it biblical horror. I'm obsessed with that. You know, I mean, if you think about it, a lot of the stories in the Bible are pretty freaky.
Pretty scary as hell.
I mean, you look across the battlefield and there's a giant walking towards you. You know, I mean, that in itself is scary, right?
Yeah.
Even the resurrection is scary. Like,
Fish
you were
cloning.
just dead, bro, right?
Yeah.
What?
Fish cloning.
Right?
Yeah.
Fish cloning.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that's kind of what I'm talking about with cosmic horror. the Bible itself is just all cosmic horror.
Yeah, but biblical horror makes sense because it's a
yeah.
book of fiction.
I was kidding.
You know, but cosmic horror, it's like, how do you determine what science fiction then becomes cosmic horror? You know, what's the difference between the two? Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I get what
Found a
you're
good one. Cosmic horror, existential horror, usually concerning forces, elements that so far exceed the human experience, perception, and understanding that the idea itself is terrifying.
Okay, fine.
So that's why
That
something
makes
like
perfect fucking sense.
something like Alien. doesn't
Okay,
qualify
fine.
'cause
Annihilation is cosmic horror.
There you go. Because like
Damn it.
in Alien, you know what you're in Alien. They know what they're dealing with. They don't know what the alien.
That was a
capable
perfect
of,
definition,
but
Chris.
It's good job, Chris. Actually.
Damn it.
Reddit for the win.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
so
it
do
was
you
Reddit? Never mind.
do you
It's
understand then
person
the
generated.
lens that I'm talking about that movie?
I
through then a
do.
little
When
bit?
you put that focus around it, I understand it. Still didn't like the movie.
Yeah.
but
No. I mean,
Yeah.
totally good. But
Do you remember the name of the book you're supposed to read?
no.
Firefly.
Fire. Yeah.
Piers Anthony.
Like the show, Nathan Fillion,
No.
the
So
Serenity.
that's scary too if you look at what's his name, Jane,
That guy's a piece of shit.
the odd Baldwin brother.
Wait, he's not an actual Baldwin, is he?
He is a Baldwin, but he's not a.
Okay, yeah, that's
Baldwin.
that's what I'm talking
I
about.
think he's like a cousin or something. I don't know for sure, but anyways,
Barney Baldwin.
so all right. Out of 5, what would you give?
A solid 3. It's nothing crazy, but I would watch the hell out of it again.
Okay.
So yeah.
As above, so below. I'm a big fan of found footage type movies.
Yeah.
And when I talk about that, I talk about the Blair Witch Project, obviously, because that's
Really
kind of the Mount Sinai of.
It's like it wasn't the first found footage movie, but it definitely created found footage as it is now.
$10,000 budget. It made $60 million, and then became this franchise that's now spawned 2 video games and a television series. What?
I saw that on the initial release in theaters.
Yeah, same.
I remember when that movie came out. I was too young to go see it, obviously, but I remember my brother.
I pirated it and watched it at home, and it scared the shit out of me.
I remember my brother going to see it with like friends, and me as a kid having seen everything on TV, being afraid like he's gonna go die.
Yeah,
he's gonna die when he sees this movie.
Yeah.
So
there's a couple things about As Above, So Below that I liked.
Yeah.
No, there wasn't.
Oh God.
Wow.
Oh no.
So
I'm gonna get the popcorn toilet paper.
First of all,
no, we do bidets.
So many movies are done in the catacombs, and it's just like the one scene where they're down there and he's like, no, we can't go through that tunnel. Anyone who goes in that tunnel dies. So they go through the tight rocks to the left. Claustrophobia. I'm not even claustrophobic, but I
cannot watch that shit. Oh God, no.
The dude got stuck and he's like, I'm stuck, and he starts freaking out. I'm like, calm the fuck down, bro.
I would throw up on my couch. I can't watch that.
Oh my God. But it's like, I get it that your protagonist is this small woman and the men are weak and whiny and all this stuff. I get that, right? But then the other thing is, like, the guy's been missing for 2 fucking years, and he shows up in this dark tunnel underground, and, oh, let's follow him. He knows what the fuck he's talking about. No, I'm the fuck out of there. This is like an entire group of Star Trek red shirts. Like, that's what happened here. And 3 of them survived.
Yes.
That was the only cool thing about the movie.
Was that 3 of them made it out?
Manhole cover that was below them, and now they're upside down. Which, by the way, why the fuck are they upside down?
Because As Above, So Below, buddy.
Oh, because of the name of the movie.
No, because that's the legend. That's how it's supposed to work. The catacombs are supposed to be hell.
Makes no sense. I did appreciate the how to make everything change. Like, when she resolved that, I hated that it took 3 seconds to fix everything.
Okay, yeah, so that's my biggest problem. As someone who loves that movie, my biggest problem is that once she figures it out, she speed runs the entire catacombs that they've taken the whole movie to walk through. But the other thing is, why didn't all of the other people that were killed come back to life? The one guy did. Why didn't the rest of them? I think because you actually use the stone on them.
Oh, you're right.
She uses the stone on Jonah from Superstore.
But she ran right past the one dude that fell down the rope with the stone. Why didn't she use that?
Oh my God, you're right. Why didn't she?
Yeah.
Oh no! Wait, why
the black guy? It's racist.
I literally, as I said, I was like, wow, they really had her pass up saving the only black man they put in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Whoops. Well, I still love that movie.
I mean, okay, I could see this is a horror movie.
Yes.
And I appreciate that.
Classically defined horror movie.
Yes.
It follows the prescribed path.
Correct. It was just a terrible path. It was poorly acted. And I get that found footage is not supposed to be the best acting, right?
Sure.
Because it's supposed to feel like realism, but when realism feels like bad acting, that's terrible acting.
Oh, you mean like Cobra Kai?
Like Cobra Kai.
You are actually the only person I know, though, who has seen that movie who didn't like it.
Okay.
I'm not saying that invalidates your opinion. I was just surprised.
I mean, there were boobs in it. Great.
Wait, were there?
Yeah. When the girls that were painted white.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
And then the singing gets louder and louder.
And she looks at him.
And then the phone rings. That isn't attached to anything.
Why won't you talk to me, Scarlett?
Right? What?
It's
what
good,
is
though.
That?
As Above, So Below. Watch it. Mom, you'd like it.
I'll give that one a 3 out of 5 versus 2.5.
Okay. I actually think my mom has watched that.
I didn't hate it as much as Annihilation. I would pay money to see Chris's reaction to the claustrophobia scene.
No.
Not a great movie.
I'll pay you more money.
Better than Annihilation. And I did watch all of these.
I know. I appreciate it.
Let's talk about Poltergeist. So DJ Catfish says that Poltergeist was a lifetime of clown trauma for him.
Yeah, how many people do you think weren't afraid of clowns and then were after watching Poltergeist?
Here's the funny thing.
God,
Like,
so many
it
people.
scared me, but I have never been afraid of clowns. Yet I'm afraid of a fucking cow Disney character.
A
Oh, are
cow?
we going to have this fucking debate again?
Are you talking about Goofy?
Yes.
Goofy's a dog.
Goofy is a cow.
Goofy's a dog.
Goofy is a cow.
Tony, Goofy's a dog.
Goofy is
Chris,
a cow.
Chris, can you Google this? Why do you think Goofy's a cow?
Goofy is a cow.
Why do you think that though?
Just wait.
Like what? There's
Just
isn't
wait.
there a
Just
Clarabelle is a
wait.
cow?
No.
When have you ever?
I mean,
heard a,
yes, but Goofy is a cow.
When have you ever heard a cow go? Huh?
Have you ever heard a cow not make a sound?
Speaking of farm animals, I
First
feel
of
the
all,
need to.
cows don't fucking talk. So garsh.
I feel the need to. I feel the need to tell everyone this that on the drive here, every time we pass a farm with a little miniature horse, and it's my fucking favorite.
Goofy is not a dog.
Goofy's a dog.
Goofy is a cow, and Chris will prove it to
Everyone
you shortly.
sound off.
No.
I'm gonna need everyone to sound off on this one.
Goofy is a cow.
Chris, what's your opinion? Before you
It's not-
Google it,
not
what's your
opinion.
personal opinion?
A dog cow.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's
see, he
toeing the
found
line.
it already. He already found it on the internet. I'm
I
waiting for
haven't.
you to read it.
Why do you think he's a cow?
He's a cow.
What's your reason for that? Like, have you seen that in like a Disney encyclopedia?
So,
Says dog.
no, it doesn't.
It does.
So, Pluto is a dog. Pluto doesn't talk. Pluto wears
They're
a
both
collar.
dogs.
Goofy is a cow.
There's literally an entire NPR
Look at
article
this.
about
Look
it.
at this. Thanks, Mom. He is a tall anthropomorphic dog.
Goofy
That's what's
is
on
a cow.
Wikipedia.
Goofy is a cow.
You're a cow. Shout out, Mom. Thank you for Googling that. Also, shout out
How
my dad.
often-
My dad texted me earlier, but that he was building a Lego.
How often in life do you say, he is a cow? Shut up, Mom.
Goofy is not simply a dog or a cow. He's just goofy.
He's just goofy. Good
The
Lord.
Disney character Goofy was modeled after a breed of Scottish cow.
No.
No.
Did you read that on
The seven
lies.com?
dwarfs were modeled on cocaine addiction, and a topless woman can
What?
mostly be spotted in VHS copies of The Rescuer.
What the hell? Goofy's a dog.
Goofy has always been thought of as a dog with human features.
Uh-huh.
However,
that's
what
correct.
the Disney establishment isn't telling you is Goofy is really a cow. To be specific, an Aberdeen Angus cattle.
No.
Who's saying this? Where are you pulling that up? What's the
The internet, the same place where your mom found that
but
he was
what's
an
what's the
anthropomorphic
website?
dog.
What's the website?
I don't know. I didn't look
Yeah,
at it.
exactly, because it's unreliable.
Goofy's a cow.
Goofy's a dog. Anyways, so Poltergeist.
Goofy's a cow.
Also, my
Goofy's a
dad did
dog.
send me a picture of a Lego he bought using our affiliate links. So
Nice.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Dad.
Dad.
It's a big condor plane. The plane,
Condor
the
plane.
condor.
Caw-caw.
Yeah. So Poltergeist.
That was very random. Thanks, Dad.
I think Poltergeist will lure you into thinking it's boring for the first little bit. And then it's so even, there's like nothing going on. But my God, when that movie starts going, it does not stop for the rest of the runtime.
Yes.
It's nuts.
In my opinion, Poltergeist is one of the greatest horror movies ever made.
You think so?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it does everything that you need a horror movie to do. Lulls you into a false sense of security because you think it's going to be, just this, regular movie about a small child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Craig T. Nelson. Always good.
Craig T. Rip. Rest in peace.
Is he dead?
No, I just wanted to
Okay.
say rip.
You know what? If he dies tonight, it's your fucking fault.
It's my fucking
If
fault, right?
if Craig T. Nelson dies tonight, you killed him. Oh, my mom said the plane was a Concorde, not a
What?
Condor.
Oh,
I
the
said it like
British plane with the funny nose.
Yeah, I said it wrong. No, that movie's. I mean, it does. To be clear, a lot of it has not aged well. That is a movie that the effects have not kept their luster, as it were. But definitely still fun to watch. It's definitely worth a view if you haven't seen it.
Have you seen the remakes?
No,
Yeah, don't.
I heard it's not worth it. So.
Not very much not. But yeah, one of my all-time favorite movies for sure.
Yeah. Why do you, and beyond just that it does everything a horror movie does, you think,
Well,
what's your...
I love that you have this feeling of character development, and I've always been a big fan of like redemption arcs.
Sure.
And there's just not one for anybody in this movie.
Yeah.
And the creepy little lady.
Oh yeah, what's the little voice? She's, you ain't never done this before.
Yeah. It's just pure. It's just there's just moments of pure fear.
Yeah, it is.
And you can see it in the actors' faces.
Yeah.
Right. Like there's parts where you're like, oh, that kid is scared.
Yeah.
Out of their mind.
Yeah. I think a good descriptor for that movie is relentless.
Yeah.
It's just, it does not stop. It's
the end of the second third and then the full third is just...
Yeah, there's like twice where you think that movie's going to wrap itself up and then it just...
Yeah.
It keeps fucking going.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I would agree with you that it's... You can see where a lot of modern horror and stuff going forward took from that movie. Like, rewatching it before this, I was kind of like, oh, her being in the, like... ghost realm or whatever is kind of a little reminiscent of like Stranger Things and the whole plot
Bill and
of
Ted's,
that first season.
I mean it's used across the board. And, yeah.
So it definitely left an impact. Of the horror movies that we watched, of both of ours, I would say that's probably the most like prestigious. Like that's probably the one that's left the biggest impact on like.
I don't know. I think the original Candyman probably was.
I gotta be honest. We'll get there, but I'm not a big fan of the original Candyman.
Really? Oh. All right, well, let's skip over that for now. We'll come back to it.
For
we're going to talk about It Chapter 2.
For my final movie, It Chapter 2.
First of all, just honorable mention. What was that movie? No One Will Save You?
Oh, yeah, on Hulu.
Okay.
No One Will Save You. Oh, my God.
That was the best of the 4 movies that you told me to watch.
Really?
Yes.
I did like that movie a lot. That movie's so fucking weird.
What did I text you? Like, what the fuck am I watching?
Oh yeah, no. There was a couple things you texted me throughout this, but when you finished it, you just said, "What the fuck was that? Dude, call me."
Yeah. And that's the same thing. What was the I can't even think of it right now. The movie we watched this year, Walking Phoenix.
Bo is Afraid?
Yeah, Bo's Afraid.
You couldn't even think of the name and you said it was a perfect movie.
It is bro, my brain is so fucked up right now. But it kind of reminded me of the same feeling I had when I left that movie, where it was like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I hated it. Wait a second. I loved it.
Yeah.
You know?
It was I enjoyed it. It's the right level of...
And it leaves you with that fucking question.
Yeah, of like, what the hell's going on?
Like, I mean, you hear what happened, you see what happened, but then at the same time, you're like,
well, it's like,
how did that happen?
On one level, it could be very straightforward. I guess genuinely, spoiler alert, because this is a very new movie. This only just came out like last month. But it could be very straightforward that at the end you're like, oh, okay, she's been brainwashed, she's been indoctrinated, whatever, and now she's living with the aliens. I kind of like the idea more that she's just like, oh, you mean all these people aren't judging me anymore for fucking braining that other kid? Like, and so she's just kind of accepted that this is a more peaceful world for her.
Yeah, but why?
Because she was the town pariah.
No, but why? Why are the aliens all of a sudden accepting of her? I don't understand.
That I would love to know. Did they like? What I think Molly, after we watched it, she was like, "So what?" The aliens looked and they're like, "Oh, she's too fucked up.
She gonna fuck us up.
we gotta back off."
She killed
that
2
one.
of us.
I mean, she did kill. Like,
yeah,
she blew an alien up in that movie.
In the fucking car, the one with the long arms and legs.
Yeah. I've never thought like before, like, oh, like Caitlin Deaver's kind of hot, and then she was beating up aliens, and I was like, okay. It's like a Sigourney Weaver kind of deal.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. I just thought I'd bring that up
that
as
movie
an
was
honorable mention.
No, it was a fun movie. Whitson, we're gonna have to talk about after this Fall of the House of Usher. I don't think you've watched it yet.
No, I haven't.
Chris did.
Binged it. So good.
Okay. It Chapter 2.
Yes.
The first time I saw it, I was like, oh, great. Another It movie. They made a sequel to it. Loved the book.
The first time you saw it?
Yeah, you're hilarious.
When was the last time?
And then I can still see it. I'm not that fat. And then there's too many stars in this movie.
In chapter 2,
Yeah. The thing that I loved about the original It
like
was
the
that you
the
had
television
the
one.
original It.
with like John Ritter.
What?
Isn't John Ritter in it? The original It,
Wait, what?
like the TV miniseries. Google it.
As
I
a
think
character or as It?
No, he's like a character. He's
Okay.
like one of the people.
Because you know who played It.
Tim Curry.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know why he was chosen for that?
Because Tim Curry's a fucking terrifying chameleon.
Because of his role in
Rocky Horror.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
First of all, the book is amazing.
I've never read the book.
You have to read the book. 'Cause
I've read parts of it. Like I
that
started
book
it a
is
couple
the
times.
first Stephen King book that I've ever read.
Okay.
Surprisingly effective. If you're still here, I know you like to read a lot, but you also hate scary things. But did you ever read It by Stephen King? Interested to know.
I would be. I think my mom has read every Stephen King book out there. So when
I've read
she
a
hears
lot
I
of
haven't
them.
read it, she's probably going to be furious with me.
I've read a lot of them.
Yeah.
And I really, really, really like his style. It's what introduced me to Piers Anthony. Because there's a dark humor to a lot of what he writes.
Yeah.
TV show, brilliant.
Sure.
Original It movie, good. And then you just get overloaded with fucking Jean-Luc Picard or I don't know, whatever.
Are you trying to say James McAvoy?
Yeah, but he played
He played Professor
X,
Xavier?
who also was played by Jean-Luc Picard.
You mean Patrick Stewart?
I know who the fuck I'm talking about.
Oh,
It's just
boy.
the association that I have.
That took a while.
Shut up. It's my 7 degrees of separation. And it's just it was too much. Like Jessica Chastain. And then you had the first scene of the movie is this adorable gay couple having fun times at the fair, and then people are just bigoted and kill one of them, and it's just like it's like when you fridge a character in a movie.
Sure.
And it feels well, that's the whole point of it, is it's pointless.
I think I think the point at the beginning is because like Pennywise as a character feeds on like misery like that. But there was when part 2 came out,
Pennywise
there was
feeding on the lesser fortunate. I get that. But there's nothing unfortunate about the fact that there's a gay couple at the fair.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily lesser fortune. I think it's feeding off of fear. And
Right, but why didn't Pennywise kill the fuckers who were making fun of the gay guy? That beat him up and threw him over the bridge.
Maybe because he just because I think they were the ones who were feeling fear, not the attackers.
Right, but do you understand what I'm saying about
No,
from a movie standpoint? It felt irrelevant.
I get where because there was also some when that first came out, people were like, "Did we really have to just open with a hate crime?"
Yeah, I mean, and that's the whole thing. Is it's like we all know who Pennywise is. There was no obsession with bigotry in the first movie, right?
The bully character is pretty racist.
Well, yeah, but he's in the South. He's racist.
It's in Maine.
It's a.
What do you mean the
What do you mean?
South?
Yeah, you're right. It is. In Maine. Sorry.
We're actually in Canada, folks. So
Yeah, it's south of us. But still, I don't know. It felt unnecessary, and you know me. I mean, I'm as liberal as they come, but I'm not the big like, oh, don't kill the gay guy because he's gay. But to me, it was just like I wasn't mad at Star Wars for putting a lesbian kiss in, right? I wasn't one of those people. But for me, that's just.
I mean, there was a lot of people who had that view again, just because they're like, it kind of just feels like.
What if it was an ugly guy with a really pretty girl, right? And the guys were making fun of him for being ugly. You know, how'd you get her? And they beat him up and threw him over the bridge.
Sure.
Totally different feeling. Still a situation that might have happened.
Yeah, and like I said, there was a big portion of people online who were like, it kind of feels like you're opening your movie with an unnecessarily gratuitous hate crime just for the shock value of having.
See, I never read that, and I felt
gratuitous
the
hate
same
crime.
way.
Yeah, so I mean, I see the point you're coming from on there. Yeah. I'm sure like when they were making this movie, they were like, that's gonna have the real impact. It is kind of fucked up that you're just like, well, in order to have impact, we've got to just.
But there was no resolution.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, it always felt like they set it up for a third. I don't know if it's happening.
I would be surprised.
But it's like, I don't know. It off the cuff, it left me with a bad taste in my mouth.
Sure.
And then you have this round table of people in a Chinese restaurant. The one person who's the most involved and the most like, oh, it's not real, is the no-name actor. Everyone else is this big-name actors, and they're freaking out about the soy sauce turned into an octopus and all of this shit.
Yeah.
And and that just continued throughout the movie. And like 60% of the movie is flashbacks. It's like, why not just set that movie in that time? The relevance of, ooh, we're in the future and we're all successful human beings. I didn't get it.
It sounds like for you, it's almost a little too gimmicky.
It almost felt like Stephen King wasn't involved in the movie.
Sure.
Because the first one was just pure horror. It was like just,
And I don't know how close to the book the movies are. Because like I said, I've never read it. But,
well, the second one is completely unattached.
Is it?
Other than Pennywise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because the book has like the flash forwards and stuff too, right? Or
yeah, but so did the first one.
Oh, the TV. You mean the TV? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I was weirded out by it. So.
No, I mean,
Chris, you texted me about fucking Goofy.
That was a long time ago.
You mean Goofy the
long,
dog?
long time ago.
Well, so then I guess that leaves the last one that we have left then is Candyman, which I know is a classic. I know people
Now, we
love,
are not talking about the Jordan Peele Candyman.
which I haven't seen yet, but I am looking forward to seeing. I just find the original Candyman kind of boring. I don't think it's a bad movie. I just find it boring.
But that's the best part about it.
You
Do you
think
remember
so?
what you said about Poltergeist?
That it lulling
It
you
started
into false
off
security?
feeling like it was just going to be a boring movie. Right?
Sure.
And then all of a sudden it has those moments where just like, oh shit.
I think the difference for me is that in Poltergeist, even though it starts off slow, I still feel some tension. And I don't feel really like tension in Candyman.
Then you need to watch Candyman again undistracted, because there is one piece of Candyman that nobody ever notices. But in that movie, the last third, there is a generally progressive noise that continues throughout the movie.
Okay.
And gets louder and louder and louder until the very end of the movie.
Really?
Yes.
I did not notice that.
Yes. And it adds to every bit of the tension.
Maybe it's like a watch with headphones kind of scenario.
Yeah, it's possible, or with good audio. But what I love about Candyman, right? First of all, Tony Todd had been B-list actor, B-list actor.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. He was fucking perfect for that character,
Sure.
right? The bees, right? That was crazy. But the best part is the moments of tension that are created in that movie.
Yeah.
That have nothing to do with Candyman.
Sure.
Brilliant. I'm gonna say Candyman 2 times and then stop.
Yeah.
And you're just like on the edge of your seat, like, what's gonna fucking happen? Oh, watch the mirror, the lights are flashing, or
Yeah.
Shit like that. And nothing happens. And then the dog jumping on the bed. That's one of those classic horror movie things that you know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But the person you're watching it with isn't. And they're going to piss their pants because you're going to go, oh my God, right as the dog jumps on the bed.
Oh shit. Yeah, it's for me it's a good movie. Like I can acknowledge
classic horror
where it's
movie.
good.
Not
and
Poltergeist, but it's a classic horror
Yeah,
movie.
and it's a classic. It's had a huge impact on horror movies going forward.
Yeah.
And I even, while watching it, I was like, this is good. Like, I would say it's a 4 out of 5 movie. I just was a little bored. I don't know if it's a product of it being an older horror movie and that doesn't hit in the same way anymore, or that I knew there was like a remake that's supposed to be fucking brilliant and I just wanted to be watching
it was
the
good.
remake.
It wasn't fucking brilliant.
Okay.
The guy who played Candyman in the new movie is the guy that I think they need to cast to play Black Superman.
Okay.
I don't remember his name, but I think to me he would.
I gotta be honest, I thought it was the same guy. No, you're right.
So
it's
Tony
not.
Todd is in the new one.
Okay. Gotcha.
I can't remember his name. Maybe Chris will look it up for us. I don't know.
Who's Candyman in the new one? You know what? IMDb.
But
This is right here.
he also isn't just Candyman in the movie. He's just a character who turns into Candyman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not Poltergeist. I think for me, out of the 3, Poltergeist is probably my favorite from a horror movie standpoint.
Sure.
Here's the other thing. We've had this kind of an episode before. You weren't involved in it. And there was a lot of schlock versus horror conversations. What I like about this conversation is there's no debate around schlock, right?
Yeah.
Because nothing that we watched was schlocky. They were all either straight horror or just bad movies.
I don't know who we're looking for here.
Yeah, that guy. Yahya
Abdul Mateen.
He also plays Mantis in Aquaman.
Yes, he's also in Jack Ryan.
Yeah, I think he would be the perfect Black Superman.
Yeah, I like him for that.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot he's Morpheus in Matrix.
Oh yeah, he was Morpheus in the new Matrix movie too.
Yeah.
So Chris, we didn't prep you for this ahead of time, but
wow.
From a scary movie standpoint, what would you say is the movie that you find scariest?
Gosh.
If you say Guns for Columbine, I'm putting my headphones down and walking out.
Give me a minute to look it up. It's one that I
Or Bowling for Columbine.
watched in a notoriously haunted apartment building when I lived in Nashville.
Oh, you.
Wait, what? Chris, did you live in a haunted apartment building?
No, one of my friends did. But
Holy
let me look up the
shit.
name of
What?
this movie so
Okay.
I know I have it right. Other than
Okay.
that, in theaters, I saw The Ring, and that was pretty freaky the first
The
time
Ring is
through.
pretty freaky. Yeah, Naomi Watts, right?
Yeah. I will say, while Chris is looking that up, have you watched any of the Mike Flanagan Netflix stuff like I told you to?
Mm-mm.
You're missing out. Have you watched
I got sucked into Yellowstone and binged the first 4.5 seasons.
Good Lord. Have you, Chris, have you watched any of Mike Flanagan's other stuff on Netflix or just House of Usher?
I don't know. I may have.
So he's done so far, he's had Haunting of Hill House was his first one. And then there was The Haunting of Bly Manor, Midnight Mass, and then The Midnight Club. All similar naming, but it's all separate shows. Like there's like connecting.
Did you know
themes
that there's
throughout
prequel
them,
series of Yellowstone on Paramount?
yeah, well, Harrison Ford's in one of them. right?
Harrison Ford's in
Yeah.
one of them.
I think you should watch all those. I think you would enjoy them. I think if there was only one you were gonna give a chance to see if you're gonna get into it, Midnight Mass first.
Are they not sequential?
No, there. Like I said, there is.
Are they not associated in any capacity?
There's like maybe like tiny like references or musical cues and stuff like that, but there's not connecting plot themes no, or plot beats. Just like maybe like Mike Flanagan has certain themes that he puts in.
I'm gonna
everything.
record my next podcast in a tank top and Bahama shorts, man. I'm hot as fuck right now.
Feels pretty normal.
Yeah.
Maybe I need some Space Panda Delta gummies to calm me down.
Maybe.
Nova lime flavor.
No, Molly will try the blood orange.
Is that a hey Tony next month order the
Yeah.
blood orange?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it is.
Okay.
Okay, so apparently the movie that I saw was the 2002 release of Japanese release of The Grudge.
Ooh.
Okay.
The Grudge. That
That's
was
the good
Yeah,
one.
scary
we're not going
as-
to talk about the Grudge.
Like the Grudge
that's
freak you
been
out?
our episode for
You don't
tonight,
like the. You don't like
ladies and gentlemen.
the.
There is nothing scarier
That movie
than a
was,
blue kid with a bowl cut.
Go.
No.
Black eyes going.
No. Have you seen the Japanese version?
What is your
of these
fucking
movies?
wallpaper?
It's.
Yes, that's
Scary as
yeah,
fuck.
Yeah.
scary as shit.
Even the U.S. version of The Grudge is pretty fucking
which is
freaky.
shot for shot the same thing, but it's
Yeah.
in English and it's not as freaky as the Japanese versions.
Are you? What are your feelings on the crawling down the stairs? Kind of.
Bro, any sort of body horror crawling scenes, freaky as shit.
It was
dude.
18 years ago. I saw it once, and it's still the images are still stuck
Yeah.
in
Oh
my
yeah,
head.
no. That movie that
Oh
was
my
that
God.
was a great.
I was at the perfect age for the commercials for that to terrorize me as a child.
Yeah.
Like the little meowing boy.
I couldn't walk
Oh.
downstairs where there was a shadow for a while, and just weird crap like that.
Pussies.
Gino, if you're a big fan of body horror and weird crawling, have you
Body
seen
what?
body horror?
Body
have you
what?
seen a movie called Barbarian?
No.
I should have
Maybe?
told you to watch Barbarian for one of my
Maybe.
favorite horror movies. It's on. I think it's on Max.
HBO Max.
I think it's actually just called Max now.
You know
um,
that HBO Max,
No, yeah,
got
because
purchased
I
by
think
the
they.
Discovery
I think they take
Channel.
the HBO off and it's just Max.
and then they took HBO off, and it's just Max.
Yeah. But I
Max
think it's
Plus
just
Stars.
yeah.
So now you can go to like Max.com instead of HBO.
But it's HBO Max, right?
No, it's just Max.
But it's HBO Max.
No, it's just Max.
What's the?
And they changed the name to Max because of the Discovery Channel stuff. So you can go to Max.com and watch Max stuff.
It's either on Max or Hulu, but it's very weird.
There was what was the scary movie that I saw with Harry Potter, Daniel Radcliffe in it?
Oh, Horns.
Horns.
I love Horns.
That was a good
That's
one.
based off a book written by Stephen King's son, Joe Hill. He goes by the name Joe Hill. I think his actual last name is probably King. But are you like ASMR board creaking right now?
Creaky boards.
Yeah,
You're a
They are
creaky board.
Real
Creaky,
wood.
like your old bones.
Speaking of books, we'll turn into a book podcast.
Fireflies.
Christopher Paolini.
I loved the Aragon books when I was a kid.
His new book is out.
Is it out now?
Yes.
Murtaugh?
Yeah.
Is it the... Wait, so hold on. Are you an Aragon
That
fan?
fucking thing. Fuck yes, dude.
Are you an Aragon fan?
Any dragon
Tony?
books, man?
Tony.
Anne McCaffrey. I read every book that she ever
Tony.
wrote. Dragon Riders of Pern.
My neighbor.
I read something the other day about how if people are so sure that dragons didn't exist, why has every civilization that we've discovered shown dragons in their art?
I shit you not. I said this as a joke to Molly last night, and she just looked at me like,
What?
the dragon thing. Like, I'm just saying, how did we all come up with dragons if they didn't even know what dinosaur bones were?
But at
yet?
the same, I mean, that's what someone said. Is it's like, yeah,
I'm a
there
big dragon
probably
boy. I got my
was a
dragon
fire-breathing
tooth. I'm a big dragon boy.
dragon in some capacity.
How did I not know you were an Aragon fan? That my neighbor when
I was so pissed that they didn't make any more movies. They're
The
redoing it
movie
as
was
a
not
series,
good.
by the way.
I have heard that.
I think Disney Plus is doing
yes,
the series.
the movie was not good, but
No, it was terrible.
The Christmas that came out, my neighbor got the book and she was like, "You gotta read it," and she let me read the first chapter.
Yeah.
And
have you read any of the Anne McCaffrey stuff? Dragon Riders of Pern?
No, I
Bro.
haven't. I'll have to give it a shot. But I relentlessly badgered my parents into going to Target and getting that first book for me, like during my Christmas
I bought
break.
a set. They had a set of 3 and it was like that thick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude! I love those books so much that whenever, like, if I'm playing like a fantasy game, like role playing game, anything, and I have like a dragon that I get to name, I always name it either Saphira or Glader.
So I forced myself to read through the first one and read the second one and the third one, knowing that about 2/3 of the way through, it was going to get boring as fuck for a chapter and a half. But you had to push through it, and there would be a resolution.
Yeah, it's a very.
It was also very evident that his mother helped him write those books.
Not probably.
Yeah.
It was a very.
Which is why it's going to be interesting to read the new one, because he's
Yeah.
a grown-ass man who's almost 50. So
It's like a very stereotypical hero's journey kind of setup. In the plot, but it's, oh my god, it's so fucking good though.
Yeah.
I still love those books.
yeah.
Shout out mom and dad for going and buying me all the books I ever wanted.
Yes, DJ. Nice timing.
Yeah, I don't know what you said, DJ, but
He
yeah.
said something about the remake of Aragon, and then we touched on it.
Yeah.
So
Oh man, that movie's so bad though. Do you know what we should?
it wasn't terrible. Like, I didn't walk away from it hating it. And the kid who played Aragon has a career.
He's really good in the most recent season of You.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. And if you don't watch, I don't know if you watch You or anything. but
Every single episode.
he's so good in this new season.
I can't
of
believe
You.
they made a series about sheep, but it was fantastic.
You know, that's what we should bring back.
That was a You reference, by the way.
We should bring back. We should start watching terrible movies together because Kick will allow it, and Aragon's got to
Does
be
Kick
one of
allow
them.
it?
I think you can watch certain movies on Kick. I don't know. Do we have a Kick rep who can talk to us about that?
Here's an interesting thing. Did you guys see that the TV show Suits, which I just binged,
God, you talk about it as much as I talk about Baldur's Gate.
is literally the #1 rated Netflix show right now.
Yeah,
All of the new shit they're putting out,
I know.
the stuff that they bought from USA and NBC,
I know.
is the most watched show on Netflix.
I know.
Like, setting records.
It should be The Fall of the House of Usher though, because that show's fantastic. I don't want to talk about it a ton to spoil because you have to
Okay,
watch
so
it.
then don't talk about it. Let me watch it.
Are you a fan of
get
Edgar
on
Allan Poe?
Yes.
It's themed around his stories, obviously, because the
Gotcha.
Fall of the House
Yeah,
of
Fall
Usher.
of the House of Usher.
But my God, that show, it's
do you want me to
just
take my headphones out and let you two talk about
no,
it?
because you'll still hear me. It's fantastic. It's the way they take the familiar concepts of those stories, but then twist it in a way you have no idea. Like obviously I'm not gonna, but the kind of twist in the last like 2 episodes, I should have known because I've read those books. But when they finally show what it is, Molly and I were like, "Oh fuck!"
Yeah, Tony, it's 8 episodes. Get on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Actually, no. I think if you're gonna watch a Mike Flanagan show first, watch that.
Okay.
It's so fun, and if you like some weird body horror shit, you definitely get some of it in that.
Mm-hmm.
So, moving ahead.
Yes.
Enjoy your Halloween season. Be safe out there while you're trick or treating. Watch all your scary movies. Send us messages with what movies you find scary.
Egg every car you see.
No, do not egg every car.
TP
Just Tony's
all the
car.
houses.
Egg Tony's house and car.
Do not egg every car that you see. Egg takes paint off of cars. Don't do
Fill
it.
your candy sack with soap and hit people.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Speaking of Platoon. So we have some new screenings coming up. We've got the Marvels that we're going to go see. So
Yeah.
there's some new movies coming out finally. Hopefully SAG-AFTRA will get all that stuff behind them and we'll be able to see some new productions starting.
Yeah.
So we got some new content coming. We're also going to be doing some, probably some watch parties on our kick.com/popcorn tribunal page. So keep an eye out there. Follow us on all of the socials. Shout outs to Pup and the Pepper hot sauce.
Ooh, you always said Eleanor's everything is perfect for
It's
cold
so
pizza.
fucking good, dude.
Scarlet Reaper is incredible.
You know what
for
I
cold
love about
pizza.
the Scarlet Reaper? Like, I expected like a heat, just a heat.
Yeah.
And I got it, but it was with a hint of vinegar. The vinegariness.
Do you
of
know
that,
what? Do you know
so
what I
fucking
did with it? Molly made pulled pork the other day.
Oh my god!
And I set some of it aside and mixed it with Scarlet Reaper instead of barbecue sauce.
Wow.
Oh, it was
I bet
fucking
that was
good,
delicious.
dude. It
How'd
was
your
incredible.
butthole feel?
Actually, it held up.
And then a Lux Bidet, right?
You know, a lot of times spicy stuff will kill my ass, but Pup and the Pepper, shout out.
Yeah.
Hasn't happened
It's
yet.
delicious. The flavor, the heat, it's perfect. Exactly.
I got it. Next time I go out to see my parents or family, I gotta bring them some of because my dad's a big hot sauce guy.
Yeah.
You'll love it. I'll bring it for you.
Pupandthepepper.com. They just signed some new deals for distribution, so some pretty cool stuff there.
Yeah. And if you're local,
Also, don't forget monthly subscriptions for coffeedudescoffee.com.
Yes.
Producer Chris's own.
beautiful coffee.
Just do it.
Just do
get
it.
Just fucking do it.
Just do it.
Do you-
Fucking do it.
If you're watching this show right now, there's no excuse to not have a bottle of Pup and the Pepper and a cup of Coffee Dude's coffee.
Not together.
No, together. Mix them.
No, not together.
They go have the perfect synergy.
No, not together.
Chris specifically brews his beans so you can put hot sauce on
I
them.
brew
don't
my
know.
beans.
If you go to our
Roasted
website at
beans, is that what I'm gonna say?
popcorntribunal.com
Happening.
and click on the partners page, there's some direct links there to go to spacepanda.com. There's a direct link to lego.com, one of our first partners.
My family's very familiar with that link.
Use those links, show the podcast some love. Chris has been doing all this work for free for 5 years. We don't get paid to do this. We just love making the podcast.
Reflect Sabers.
I'd like to pay
Give me a
Chris a little
saber.
bit.
I fucking hate you guys.
So click on those partners links.
Chris fucking hates his
Reflect
exes.
Sabers.
Oh, I need to run music, don't I?
Blaha still
Reflect
wants
Sabers.
some.
You have a Kanan Jarrus saber that I want so bad. And the episode 2 Anakin. Oh. It's so good.
Also, big shout out to Audies, AUDEZE.com. We are on a very short list for free headphones.
Oh, come on. Make it happen.
So there is a model that they are pushing. They have contacted us. They want to send us some, but there is a short list because they are out of stock.
Well,
So we will be repping some Audies headsets.
How do I make that list shorter?
I have in-ears coming. These guys get over ears.
I prefer over ear, so that's fine.
I got to replace these things. They're not bad. They're shiny.
Like your head.
Yeah, so big things coming. This is a big year. We have a big announcement coming. Unfortunately, we can't make it today.
No.
It will involve the rest of season 5 and all of season 6.
I know it, but you can't know
So
it.
their some big stuff on the horizon.
Hell, I don't even know it.
stoked.
Chris
really
knows it, but he
excited.
forgot
Chris
he
will
knows
know
it.
about it in about 5 minutes. We don't have music playing yet, but thank you for being here tonight
working.
on our lives. Thank you guys for showing up. We appreciate you. Thank you, kick.com and YouTube
Yeah.
for allowing us to stream this content. Thank you, buddy.
You got to vamp it a little
The
harder.
music's
The
about to
music's
start.
coming.
in
The music's coming. Make it harder. Keep going. Keep going.
Fingers.
See?
Don't run out now.
Fingers.
Thank you for watching Popcorn
Thank
Tribunal.
you for listening.
Thank
'Cause
you
we're
for
a
listening
podcast.
and watching Popcorn
And thank
Tribunal,
you for those of us on the live stream.
a movie, streaming, gaming, and pop culture podcast.
Yes.
I've been your host. There's no one else here. It's just me.
It's just him.
It's all in my head.
Yes. I'm just another voice of his.
Somewhere I'm just in a
He's
small room
schizophrenic.
shouting to no one.
I'm Bobby. That's Danny.
You're in the big room.
And my name's Big Slim. Thank you for.
All right. I'm out, bitches. We'll see you next time.
Did you call my mom a bitch? And my dad?
No, I didn't call your mom a bitch or your
You
dad a
said you're
bitch.
bitches. You called my mom and dad a bitch? I'll text you when I'm home, Mom. Did you just call mom and mom? No. Why did I
Enjoy the outro music, everybody. See you next time.
All right, now I'm going to take 3 of those. I'm going to take 3 of those.